I'm Rob McConnell, and welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Today on the X Zone, the Roswell crash of 1947. In July of 1947, something crashed near the small town of Roswell, New Mexico. That something is believed to have been a flying saucer by millions of UFO enthusiasts around the world, headed by nuclear physicist Stanton Friedman. Now, Friedman has never seen any physical evidence of the alien craft or the remains of its alien occupants, but bases his belief on the stories that he has heard from locals and townspeople alike. According to the United States Air Force and other government agencies, the Roswell incident was not a crashed alien ship. Friedman and his followers insist to this very day that the governments of the world are covering up the fact that the aliens are here, and that the denial of the UFO crash at Roswell, New Mexico is proof of this global government cover-up.
The X Zone radio and TV show is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X Zone radio and TV show or in any manner endorsed by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, Talkstar Radio Network, its affiliated stations, or employees.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and this is the X Zone on the Talkstar Radio Network. And I'd like to welcome AM 580 CFRA in Ottawa to the X Zone and Talkstar Radio Network now. My guest this hour is DAENA SMOLLER. She is a former on-air radio personality, advertising executive, and junior achievement instructor. She joined the ISPR in 1995 to study field parapsychology and participate in paranormal research. After earning a position as ISPR investigator, DAENA worked on the technical side of field research until her own abilities opened sufficiently to be recognized as an empath and physical medium. DAENA's mediumship abilities have created a fertile ground of study for ISPR to formulate new theories and understanding in the field. DAENA's abilities provide the opportunity for direct communication with an entity rather than relying on information. Her empathic abilities allows the team to study the emotions and physical sensations displayed by an entity in real time. DAENA continues her apprenticeship in the scientific venue and handles a variety of mobile instrumentation during the ISPR investigations. Now, in addition to ISPR investigations, DAENA has conducted over 1,300 field investigation studies, known internationally as ghost expeditions. Outside of ISPR investigations and GEs, she applies her expertise in marketing, advertising, and promotions to bring general understanding of paranormal field research to the layperson. She has been a major contributor to the former ISPR journal, now the ISPR.net. DAENA has represented the ISPR in a steady stream of radio and television appearances since 1995. And she's here with us tonight. And DAENA SMOLLER, how are you, my friend?
Hi, Rob McConnell. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks, DAENA. You are one busy lady.
I'm a busy lady losing my voice.
What happened?
I don't think I've slept since last Wednesday.
Now, that's what I call one heck of a party. And you didn't invite me.
Unfortunately, I'm not 22 anymore, so it's harder to maintain.
No, you know when it's really going to get hard for you? When you reach 33.
Oh, you are my new best friend.
So how are things with the ISPR and those great people that you associate with?
Oh, well, everybody seems to be fine, and I'm actually in New Orleans,
Mhm.
and Dr. Larry Montz is down here, and Carrie Roy is down here, and several others are going to come down and visit and help out in January, and we're working on the big project, the new haunted mortuary.
Well, why don't we talk about this when we come back from our commercial break?
Okay.
DAENA SMOLLER is our very special guest at Exo Nation, www.ispr.net. Haunted mortuary? Well, that makes sense to me. In fact, Dana's the only person who's ever talked to me about a haunted mortuary. And I've asked other ghost investigators, have they ever gone to a mortuary or a morgue or a funeral home? And they say no. Finally, somebody who knows what I'm talking about. DAENA SMOLLER and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break in 2 minutes as the X-Zone continues live and around the world from our studios in beautiful Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away. Welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. The October edition of the X-Chronicles newspaper will be available on October the 4th. We're going to start sending it out on the 4th. It'll continue into the 5th. One of the articles that we're very happy to have in this edition, the October edition, is by Dennis G. Balthaser. It's called Searching for the Truth. Always telling the truth means never having to remember anything. It's about Walter Hutt, Roswell, and a whole lot of questions. That's just one of the many stories that we have in this edition of the X-Chronicles. We also have one in there by Philip Mandel. And, of course, a number of advertisers, and one of our advertisers, as they are here on the show, are friends at Premier Psychics. Earlier I told you about Ralph's Astrology, Ask Lois, and I'd just like to remind everyone that Premier Psychics was formed with the intention of revolutionizing the psychic network industry. Their central focus, first and foremost, is to provide their clients with incredible readings provided by authentic psychics who are the most knowledgeable in their fields and the most gifted of their kind. Premier Psychics believe that providing this service will not only enhance the lives of their clientele, but will also resurrect the honor and magnificence of the ancient art of prediction. Now, unlike a majority of the other psychic networks, Premier Psychics was started by psychics, not marketing executives. Before forming their company, they took a long, hard look at what clients really wanted and needed from a psychic service, and when they called up one, what they wanted to hear. Now, when I said what they want to hear, they want to hear people who are knowledgeable. Not people who give vague readings, but people who are pinpoint accurate. And this is what you'll find at Premier Psychics. If you'd like to find out more about the people at Premier Psychics, got that word out, didn't I? www.premierpsychics.com, and you can always call toll-free at 1-866-803-6593. DAENA SMOLLER is our special guest, www.ispr.net. And Dana, what is this very impressive project that you're working on with a haunted mortuary?
Well, the haunted mortuary is a 14,000 square foot, 3-story property in New Orleans, right on the historic streetcar line, on the cemetery streetcar line. And it's about 3 miles outside of the French border.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like very weird how we got involved, actually. I suppose you want me to tell them.
Well, you've raised my interest. Now you just can't say, geez, Rob, I'm not going to tell you.
Of course not.
Thanks, friend.
Anyway, a mutual friend of both Dr. Montz's, and the owner of the property, who is Jeff Bourne of PSX Incorporated, called Larry and said, hey, a friend of mine just bought this 3-story mortuary. It's been vacant for years, and he wants to put a high-tech Halloween haunted house attraction in there. And but he doesn't know what else to do with it, or the rest of the year. And from there, the two of them spoke. They had a 4-day meeting. Larry brought in some different clairvoyants to check out the property to see if it was actually active. Because if it wasn't, there was nothing else he could do with it.
Exactly, yeah.
And it proved to be so. So, he decided, well, I'll come to New Orleans for a while and help develop this Paranormal Research Center attraction for the city. And so, of course, I followed because I have no mind of my own. It was just such a fabulous project. How could I stay away?
That's right.
And because, I am kind of partial to New Orleans, I wanted to do something positive to help, increase tourism, get those heads in beds for the hotels, and get people into the restaurants. And this is the arena in which I deal with, so it was just perfect. So I'm down here actually working as a development consultant on phase 2 of the mortuary. And right now we're in phase 1, and so the mortuary has opened with this haunted house attraction, which is just scaring the hell out of everybody. It is amazing. It's real high tech, all these animatronics, plus a lot of actors, and it is so much fun. And then at midnight, we're half the week we're conducting ghost tours all night long, and then the other half of the week is freestyle ghost expeditions.
So tell me, do you pay your ghost to scale?
I'm sorry?
Do you pay the ghost to scale?
I wish we could, because they have been working extremely hard and interacting with a good chunk of the people that come in, and but I think they get their reward in actually getting to interact with people, because, as you know, we're social creatures.
Yeah.
That kind of remains the same after we die.
Now, what are freestyle expeditions?
The freestyle ghost expeditions are pretty much opening up the door to a property that is actively haunted, welcoming in ghost hunters and paranormal investigators, researchers, and various kinds of psychics to come in and actually so that they have a place where they can conduct their own paranormal field research without being monitored, without being led by somebody else. They can bring in their own equipment and just arrive at their own conclusions. And it hasn't failed anybody yet.
So tell me, what do you think the ghosts are doing when they see these people come in on these expeditions? Do you think that they talk to each other and say, hey, listen, let's scare the hell out of this one. They look like they need a good scare. Come on,
well, I think some of the time they're at Tipitina's, watching a concert or something, and then they're like, ooh, it's midnight, better get back to the mortuary.
Yeah, gotta get the full punch card in.
That's right. But there are 4 of them that have emerged to be the most interactive with the people coming in. And, the construction workers that were in there all summer long, because when we took over the property, it was we got it, all 3 stories.
Really?
Yeah, so the first 2 stories have been built out. The third one will be built out when we shut down after November 4th. But we identified 9 entities, but 4 of them are just, wow, they're very social and having a very good time, it appears.
Now, when you say they are very social and they are having a good time, it appears, does this mean they're scaring the bejesus out of people?
A few people, they are frightening. And but most of the people, when they walk out, if they came in frightened, they leave not so frightened.
Wow.
Because they're actually having this interaction, and when they do, they realize that it really isn't something like they see on television or in a horror film.
Are you afraid that maybe one of the ghosts will go home with somebody?
We get that question all the time, and of course it's always possible that they could, stop by for a visit. But then again, if somebody were to walk into any of the properties in New Orleans that are haunted, they always have a chance of having an uninvited guest later on.
Dana, how did the Katrina disaster affect the paranormal in New Orleans?
Well, the earliest reports we received from one of the investigators that has a house down here was that it seemed very flat for the first several months afterwards, and we really weren't quite sure what to make of it. But I can tell just from my own personal experience, coming back here, and I've been here since the end of June. I don't think it's made a big difference, except for, well, unfortunately, I think there's a lot of victims from the storm that are walking around, and sometimes you do run into them on the streets, and it really affects you emotionally.
Dana, what can you do to help these victims get to the other side?
Well, I wish I could, but I'm not one of those kinds of clairvoyants or psychics. But there are a lot of other psychics that can actually help cross over by opening up, the way I understand it, is by opening up like an energy doorway for them to pass through. Sometimes other people from the other side will come through and assist them, where they need to go. But yeah, gee, I wish there was something I personally could do. Instead, I try and communicate with them and tell them if they need help. Definitely, they if I'm around, tell me, and I will get someone in to help them.
All right, now you're excuse me, you're a medium and you're very empathic. As you're walking down the streets in New Orleans, and there are these extra lost souls who lost their lives during Katrina, are they comforted by the other spirits? Do the other spirits take them under their wing and try to explain to them what has happened, or do they remain searching and wandering?
That is such a good question. With the I don't want to say regular, but with the earthbound entities that were here before, yes, they do interact. It's pretty much like we do when we're alive. We choose to interact with each other. And those who seem to be a little more needy, others will, definitely help. Not all of them, of course, because they all seem to have their issues. So it depends on where they are dealing with those. With the Katrina victims that I've dealt with, I don't think other earthbound entities can really help them. They really need to cross over.
All right, so we have these entities who are basically lost souls, God bless them, and they met the end of their time prematurely. Do they stay around and try to console the people on this side of the veil before they go over? Do they try to communicate and say, "Listen, I still love you. I'm still around"?
I would have to venture a guess to say that many do, but with respect to the Katrina victims that I have personally dealt with, who have actually come into the mortuary when I've been there, no, I do not think that they are visiting other relatives. I think they are just so caught up in what happened, and it's really fairly miserable existence.
When you're walking the streets of New Orleans and...
As if I do.
Not that way.
Okay.
All right, let me phrase it a different way.
Okay.
Jeez. You've been listening to the rumors about this show, you know that? Just kidding with you.
Well, I thought you were listening to the rumors about me. So.
Do you mean that photo's not really you?
Oh, my.
Hey, listen, you and I have got to take a break. DAENA SMOLLER is our very special guest this hour, www.ispr.net. And Dana and I will be back after we come back from the news at the bottom of the hour. As the X Zone continues on the Talkstar Radio Network, X Zone TV, and on shortwave. Also, still to come on tonight's show, my buddy Patrick Cook will be with us to do another edition of the Cook Report. 1-877-528-8255 is toll-free throughout the U.S., Canada, Alaska, and Hawaii. My email address is xzone@talkstarradio.com. On MSN Messenger, talkstarradio@hotmail.com. And our two websites, xzoneradio.com and xzonetv.com. X-Zone Nation, I'm sorry the emailers did not get out tonight. We had a bit of a fiasco here, but everything is back online, and you will be getting your emails tomorrow. My name's Rob McConnell. This is the X-Zone from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.
Place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Today on the X-Zone, skulls from the Triangle of the Ancient Gods. was high in the mountains of Peru where Canadian television producers B. and Bob Connolly discovered the giant elongated skulls of an ancient civilization that may be in fact the key to the extraterrestrial connection. Their interactive CD, In Search of Ancient Wisdom, contains several photographs of these skulls, which includes animation that depicts the similarity of the skulls to the ancient statues of King Akhenaten of Egypt. Elongated skulls and cone-head skulls have also been discovered in the shadow of the Great Pyramids in Egypt and near the ancient Aztec temples in Central America. Elongated skulls, terrestrial or extraterrestrial?
My job, came home mad, got a hug and a kiss, and that's too bad. She said, I can go to work until you find another job. I thought, I like the sound of that. Watch TV and take long naps. Go from a hard-working dad to being Mr. Mom. Well, paper's mailed in a Maytag dryer. Crayons go up one drawer higher. Rewind Barney for the 15th time. Breakfast 6, naps at 9. There's bubble gum in the baby's hair. Sweet potatoes in the lazy chair. Been crazy all day long, and it's only Monday, Mr. Mom. Football, soccer, and ballet, squeezing scouts and PTA, and there's that shopping list she left that's 7 pages long.
Yeah, I heard that song many a time. Do you think it's so easy to stay home and raise the children? No, thank you. Mothers, us guys don't give you enough credit. So to all the moms out there, thank you for everything that you do. Yeah, DAENA Smoller's our special guest. I wonder if she's still there, if she's walking the streets of New Orleans. www.ispr.net. DAENA, are you there? Where are you, DAENA?
I am on the streets of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Under that, like, red light, yes.
That's a stoplight. It turns green.
Absolutely.
Hey, DAENA, what is the fascination with people today and more people wanting to investigate and look at the paranormal?
Well, I think there was a combination of things that took place in the 90s, you know, as we approached the new millennium, because it appears that every 100 years, when we're about to cross that century mark, people, they start looking for more answers regarding spirituality and what happens to us when we die. It just seems to grow at that time. And then for this new millennium, of course, the internet was widely used at that point, and of course the influx of paranormal television programming, so it just became a cultural phenomenon, boom, around the world.
Now, what I was trying to say before when we got sidetracked about the walking the streets was, when you're out and about, is that better?
Yes.
Okay, when you're out and about, do you see these spirits? Do you see these souls? And do they know that you can see them? Do they try to come over to you and communicate with you?
Well, actually, the gift of sight is not one that was bestowed upon me. And so, no, normally I do not see earthbound entities walking around. What happens with me is a lot of times I can feel them in a variety of different ways. And as far as them just kind of stepping in and communicating, sometimes when I'm not thinking about it, I'm not shut down enough. If I'm in a really good mood or a little too tired, I'm like an open vessel, and I get sideswiped quite often.
So does that mean you will feel that you'll be sitting there, or you'll be with some friends, and all of a sudden you'll get this strange feeling coming over you, and you can start feeling pain, remorse, sorrow? It must be very hard for you. And how do you control it?
Well, usually I'm not by myself very often. And although I really don't have a lot of friends, I am with a lot of people through work quite often, almost all my waking hours. So when entities are standing close to me, it's like a lot of other people. They will get a buzzing sensation or tingling, or just the sensation of another human being standing real close. Although it's kind of startling when you look and there's no body.
What was
They can see.
what was it like the first time it happened to you?
Well, I think I had this experience several times way before I got involved in anything paranormal.
Mhm.
And there were a few times where I was by myself, like, studying, and I would lose, like, an hour and didn't really realize what was going on. And when I first recognized that this is what was going on, I was already working with, these bizarre people, and my own mom actually stepped in. And it was the most fantastic experience I have ever had. If I never did another thing with respect to the paranormal, that's quite okay, because all my big questions were answered in that moment.
Is your mom gifted as well?
She was. I always thought she was. And she actually died in 90.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. But she does come back to visit. I mean, she doesn't remain earthbound.
Mhm.
But so sometimes I get a communication from her very far away. Like, I'll talk to her for a few days in a row, like, hey, this is going on, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. And I don't get any answer. And then a few days later, I will hear her voice in my head just out of the blue while I'm concentrating on something else. And I get a full-blown answer. But sometimes she'll actually show up and step in. And that's when a lot of people see the color of my eyes will change. And they'll see her. They're able to describe her. And because she looked, actually she was really good looking, and I'm not so.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm not fishing for a compliment or anything, but
I've got your picture right here.
so, but
Who are you trying to kid, lady?
well,
You're a bombshell.
oh yeah, well, they're old pictures.
Oh, jeez. Try and be nice to somebody, and this is what you get.
Oh, I appreciate it. I really do.
And I'm also being honest.
Thank you. But it's just so marvelous when she does that, and when she does, the communication's really rapid. You'll probably speak to other psychics that say that like the spirit guides, the people who have crossed over, they vibrate at a
Yes.
really fast pace. That is what the communication is like, and I totally understand it when it's happening, and then I understand the gist of it when she departs.
Where do spirits go when they're not on this plane?
Wow, I don't know. I don't know, and
Do they go to? Do they travel interdimensionally? Do they travel into our past? Do they travel into our future?
okay. The way I understand it, and from my interactions
Yeah.
with the Earthbound, they all seem to be on the same plane of existence as us, and they're aware of us, and they're aware of each other. And again, it's a matter of personality clashes or clicks as to whether they're going to interact with each other or with us. And then, as far as crossing over, that I really don't know. And if I did know at one point, I don't remember.
Now, I was talking to somebody last week who told me that when one dies and they go to heaven, they stay around the age or the appearances of when they were in their mid-20s.
Oh.
When a spirit is on this side, and based on the experience that you've had with other investigators and what they've reported, do the spirits stay the same age that they were when they died? And are they seen in the clothes that they are buried in?
Oh, well, that's a good one. When in my experience
Yes.
in the last 12 years, Earthbound entities, they pretty much appear looking like they did when they died. But if they died some gruesome death, that's not exactly what they project. They look whole again. It is not uncommon, however, for someone older or someone who was terminally ill that did not look so good at the time that they died to project an image of a more comfortable age, a more comfortable physical look. When they cross over, I don't believe it just doesn't feel right to me that they continue to get older. That just doesn't seem right to me, nor does classifying them as, well, they go back to a certain decade when they cross over, if I understood that correctly.
Now, we're coming into the Halloween season, and Halloween is is known for ghosties and goblins and witches and all other kind of characters that roam the woods and the fields of the undead. Is it a time of the year when there are more hauntings, more sightings, or is it just a time of the year when there are more people focused on what has always been around them the rest of the year?
It is definitely, I can say this with very 100% certainty, that it is definitely because more people are thinking about it. Just like there are probably the same amount of people who are absolutely in love all year long, but we think about it more on Valentine's Day.
Not me.
Oh.
Now I see our dollar signs flashing in front of my wife's eyes. You know, I remember when a box of chocolates and 3 roses signifying the present, the past, and the future would do it. Now it's a trip to the jewelry store.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Honey, I don't want the chocolates. I'm on a diet, but I'll take those carrots over there.
That's right.
Are we talking about the ones in the vegetable store? No, the ones in the jewelry store.
That's right. Oh, speaking of which,
yes.
Speaking of diamonds,
Uh-huh.
I have to share something very disgusting with you.
Well, thank you.
You're
I'm glad I bring this out on you. You know? For a disgusting time, call Rob. Thanks.
It's really not disgusting.
1-800, you disgust me. Yeah, thanks.
But and I've learned this only because I'm spending so much time in a former mortuary now. But
Everybody's dying to get there, right?
I think they've already died to go through, you know. Yeah. But when people are cremated, do you know that there are machines that can take their ashes and apply enough pressure to create a diamond?
You know, there are things I really need to know, and there's things I really don't need to know.
I figure I want to become very good friends with extremely overweight, not so healthy people. You know, it's like, oh yeah.
You're one morbid lady, you know that? You are one morbid lady.
Yeah, this is my friend Jake. You know, 3 carrots.
Yeah, well, look at this. Man, you know, hey, do you remember seeing that guy on TV that was 900 pounds? Look at him now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
It's a whole necklace, a tennis bracelet.
Jeez. How did we get started on this?
I don't know, I just have this weird train of thought. Plus, I haven't had much sleep.
I enjoy your train of thought. I must be honest with you.
Oh, good, thank you.
I think you're a cool lady.
Well, thank you. Really, the only other person who thinks so is my dad, so I appreciate
We're
it.
probably the same age, that's why. So when are you going to open up the haunted mortuary, and are you going to let people use Ouija boards in there?
Well, you know, if they so desire to, they can do so. And phase 2 will open up in January. I'm not exactly sure of the date yet. And the place is going to be extremely wired. So every inch of it is going to be monitored 24/7.
Wow.
So if people come in and they bring their Ouija boards or other kinds of talking boards, we're going to see what happens with them.
So you're going to be able to know whether they're full of hot air or not.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And in this place, you don't want to adjust your bra or pick your nose or anything because someone will be watching.
Now, why would I want to adjust my bra?
Yeah. Well, it was just a tip for all the ladies out there.
Oh, I see. Oh, heavens. Now, when is this going to be open to the public again?
Well, we're in the middle of our soft opening now, so there are some events taking place at the mortuary, and then it reopens at one point, which I don't know the exact date. I think it's near the end of January, and it will open up as a 24/7 interactive paranormal observatory, laboratory, and museum.
That's fantastic. You know, I'm very happy that there is finally an organization that is putting this together. It's long overdue.
Oh, well, I am so thrilled to be part of it, and it's amazing to work, you know, not only with Dr. Larry, because I've worked with him for a long time, but like with Jeff Warren, who has the incredible vision to see how this could manifest, and he's helping to make sure that this all happens, and all of the cool people in the city are working, you know, supporting it as well, and it's just really amazing.
I think what you're going to be doing, Dana, and I applaud you and the others involved in this project, you'll be doing a lot of weeding out of the wannabes. Well, there's a lot of people out there who've gone to the different websites on the internet and consider themselves as ghostbusters or researchers or paranormal investigators or parapsychologists who don't know the difference between a ghost and a goiter.
Yeah. Goiter.
And I think it's about time that an organization has come together to create this research center that if they don't know what they're doing, they'll have the ability to learn the right way and dispel the wrong way.
Thank you. Yes, yeah, and there are quite a few people involved that share exactly that vision.
That's great. Dana, stand by, my dear. You and I have to take our final break for this hour. Our special guest is Dana Smoller. She is with the ISPR. Their website is www.ispr.net. When we come back, we're going to give you, the Exo Nation, the website where you can go to find out about this haunted mortuary. People are just dying to get through those doors. Okay, that was a bad one. How about this? Everybody leaves in good spirits? No? I wonder if there's such a thing as a ghost adoption agency. Wouldn't that be a good idea? Adopt a ghost? You know how they've got Adopt a Road? How about adopting a ghost? You know, bring the ghost home with you, doesn't eat very much, keeps you up all night. Halloween, it's a great time. By the way, I still think Halloween is marketed by the dentists of the world. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with Dana Smoller as we continue live and around the world from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada.
Ooh. Here's a B-movie.
Dana Smoller is our special guest. We're talking about the haunted mortuary in New Orleans, where there's going to be a paranormal research center as well as a place where you can go freewheeling, I guess. You just go there, investigate. You're not going to be held by the hand and taken around the corner and say this is where a ghost is, that is. No, you'll be able to bring your own EMF reader. You'll be able to bring your Ouija board. You'll be able to bring your cameras and investigate and find out for yourself all about the spirits. And it is going to be monitored, so it's going to be quite a thing. Dana, as always, we love having you on the show.
Thank you.
What website can our listeners go to find out more about the haunted mortuary?
Well, they can go to thehauntedmortuary.com. It's not completed yet. It'll be completed by December. And or they can check out MySpace/hauntedmortuary and sign up as a friend.
Sign up as a friend and get the heck scared out of you.
Yeah.
Now, we've got a few minutes left, and I have to ask you this. What is the most exciting part of the entire haunted mortuary for you?
Actually, for me personally, is helping consult on a lot of the different exhibits that are going in, interactive exhibits that are going in, watching the lab being built out, because it's extremely high-tech. It's very exciting. And then, truthfully, dealing with all the people in the city and just feeding off all their enthusiasm, it's very, very exciting.
So they're really excited about this in the city.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I cannot even tell you how much. And if I had any sleep since last Wednesday, I'd be bouncing off the walls.
Well, is it Mardi Gras time down there?
It'll be Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras comes early this year. Actually, I think like the first week in February, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you better get your rest.
I know. I know. You know, I got to ride on a float on Mardi Gras Day back in '96.
What was it like?
It was the most amazing rush of like feeling of power for
Wow.
8 hours, while like 80-year-old women were beating up 3-year-olds, fighting for beads. They're all screaming for you and just whipping stuff at them.
You know, my mother said she'd never do that again, but I guess she did. Told her to stop beating up 3-year-old kids. She's never listened to me.
That's right. It's very exciting.
Well, that's great. Listen, again, thank you very much for joining us, Dan. It's always great talking to you. Take care of yourself. Give my very best to all the good people
I will.
at the ISPR.
Come on.
Take care, sweetie.
Okay, thanks.
And behave yourself.
I'll try.
Oh, don't try too hard. I love it when you're nasty. Bye-bye.
Hey, bye.
What a lady. You gotta love and really like people who have a sense of humor. That's DAENA Smollher. Her website is www.ispr.net. Just got an email from Patrick Cook. Unfortunately, he will not be able to join us tonight. We're going to reschedule him for Friday night. So I was chatting with my producer at Master Control, Superman, and I said, Superman, what do you think we should do? And he said, well, what do you mean, Rob? I chatted with him, and he said, well, why don't we do what I love best and I know that the Exo Nation loves? It's Monday night Dimension X. All right, guys, you get your way. Dimension X it is when we come back from the news at the top of the hour. It's 6.5 minutes past. As the X-Zone continues, we're right here, live and around the world, on the Talkstar Radio Network, X-Zone TV, and on shortwave, and with our affiliate network across Canada, the United States, Central America, the Caribbean, South America, the Pacific Rim, and now in Asia. Don't go away. We'll be back after the news with Dimension X.